What gathers us here this morning is really to see how we can continue to contribute to a greener good, to a bigger good, where we can continue to support these children to become better, but also enjoy life. At this point in time, allow me to invite the CEO of Nyaka, who I have his profile here. I wanted to briefly inform you of what he has been able to achieve in a very short time, so that once I introduce him, he's able to come here, share one or two remarks, and then he should be able to invite our guest of honor. The CEO and founder is Mr. Jackson Twesige, who was born and raised in the village of Nyakajezi in the rural Uganda. At a young age, he demonstrated different attributes of learning, which led him to study in Makerere University in Kampala. As a student, he co-founded human rights concerns to help victims of human rights violation in Uganda to educate the public. After graduating, he studied human rights advocacy as a visiting scholar at the Columbia University. Over the years, he has been involved extensively in international community efforts as human rights advocate, fundraiser, and inspirational speaker. In 2001, Jackson founded the Nyaka AIDS Orphans Program in response to the devastating effects of AIDS in his hometown. Nyaka provides free education to the orphans, to the vulnerable children, and in addition, 2 schools that they continue to support to ensure that these children continue to learn. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming Jackson to welcome us here, and later invite our guest of honor. Jackson, sorry to cut your CV short, because it was long and the time it would take a little bit more.
Thank you. Good morning. Usually when they introduce me, they say this is a boy from Nyaka, because that's where I was born. And that's what made me the man I am. Thank you for coming this morning. My name is Twesige Jackson Kaguri. I am the chief servant of the organization we represent here, because that's how I feel every day, working, running, and making sure that our children, our grandmothers, have a place to live, have something to eat, and can get an education that we all know in this room what education means for us. I have a speech later, but today we are honored, ladies and gentlemen, to have Minister, Dr. Honorable Barugahale. And I'm going to just sit on that name for a little bit, because in our language, Barugahale means you come from very far. And ladies and gentlemen, we come from very far. The reason I started in Nyaka, in a village where it is, it's because Niturugahale. We come from so far away. In 2001, there was no single NGO in Kanungu district. That's when Kanungu became a district. And I have witnesses in this room, because we have some people who were born in Kambuga and ran away to marry reverends, to run away from Kambuga. Mama will now make Kambuga proud, because you don't have to leave Kambuga to get an education. You don't have to leave Kambuga to get treatment. You, as a grandmother, don't have to come to Kampala to sell charcoal. In Owino, you can sell your charcoal in Kambuga. What we have done is transform a village into a city. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Minister, we started by building schools for children who are orphaned because of HIV/AIDS. We went on to build clean water systems so every human being in our village can drink clean, 100% clean water, funded with the government of Uganda and Rotary International, which is why I wear this Rotary pin proudly. Minister, we went on to build libraries so children can have books and read and see people who look like them, who live like them in a book form, published in the United States of America. Huh, nobody's clapping. You don't like to read. Honorable Minister and everybody who has come here, we have built a Harvard University in Kanungu called Nyaka Vocational and Secondary School. For our people who had never seen a storied building, we invested $3.8 million in Kanungu. Our president, Mzee Yoweri Museveni, passed there once and stopped his motorcade because he couldn't believe such buildings, such beauty sits in Kanungu opposite Kambuga Hospital. Honorable Minister, if you talk to your fellow minister, Chris Baryomunsi, he will tell you that is the place he's proud to call home because it has an address which you don't have to direct anybody because it speaks for itself. As of now, Honorable Minister, I know you have to leave. Nyaka is serving 23,000 grandmothers who are raising 96,000 children. Our representative grandmother, please stand up so the minister can wave at you. This woman and the uniform she wears is common in Kanungu, Rukunjiri, Rubanda districts. This woman is the face of Cornerstone, the documentary that won more than 100 awards, a Cornerstone documentary that Mama Janet Museveni opened. You didn't know all this because we tend to do actions rather than speak. So the Honorable Minister walked in this morning and told me, which news channels do you have? And I didn't even know any because we tend to speak through actions. And so we wanted you to see the children yourself. We wanted you to hear the impact from the mouth. We invest more than $3.4 million in Uganda, more than the budgets of some of your ministry. And today, we are going to make an announcement to expand our work in 2 more districts, starting with Busia, going to Bukedia, all the way to Ruchiga. Nyaka Global is the name of the organization, and 2025 is when we are going to be Nyaka National, including the Brogue. I am so honored that you made time to come. In absentia, we thank Aisha, who is not here, who connected you to this organization. We are going to be coming to different ministries, signing memorandums of understanding. This is the work of God. I don't want you to thank Jackson. If you want a person to thank, ladies and gentlemen, she has already died. My mother, Janet Nyawajenda Kaguri, is the reason I started Nyaka. She's not here for you to clap for, but thank God, my mother was a woman of God. And she said to me, Jackson, you are going to Columbia University, find a church in the United States. Go get taken care of and never forget where you came from. We do this for our children's sake. We all come from different villages in Turugahale, and we don't want that Kurugahale to remain Hale. We want to shorten the distance through education, through empowerment. Nyaka is now building a microfinance bank so nobody has to come all the way to UDB in Kampala to get a loan. And nobody needs to find themselves in Kampala before they can register their organization. So, Honorable Minister, I know we will have enough to talk about our guests who are going to speak. We know you are a busy man. We thank you for representing us. We thank you for the work you do, and may you continue to live up to your name. Tukarugahale, but we will shorten the distance. I take this honor to invite you to address our people, our supporters. We've been supported by so many, and we are so glad you are here to continue the work.
Honorable Kaguli. Most of you may not know the name Kaguli, just like he started with Barugahari. Kaguli now in Bunyoro in Western, it is Waraji, the Kurudu Waraji. But now the mother called Kaguri, the late, named the son Kaguri, who must be a father. And then the mother, when the Kaguri boy was going to the US, he said find a church. So imagine a name that which means Waraji is addicted to church, and it's making wonders. Anyway, allow me to recognize my sister Mercy, URSB boss. Mercy, let them look at you. The men may want to look at the back, but the Christians want to look at the front. Then I want also to recognize the chairperson of board of Nyaka in Uganda, my sister Barbara Kasekende. Barbara, you should stand up. Barbara, she's a PRO expert. She's also a banker, working with the best bank in Uganda. Then I want to recognize the donors. I've seen the room is filled with donors, both Ugandans and the whites, our friends from the USA. Without you, the 3.4 can't be raised. So we need to thank you for contributing. Just like he said, his contribution to the economy in support to the children is bigger than my own ministry. I don't have that money. The whole docket of children, I have 640 million to look after juvenile prisons. You know the juvenile centers? I've even told them we should not call juvenile centers, we should call them correction homes for children. I proposed to cabinet, and that should pass soon. We should not call them prisons, because these are children. Children are not criminals. Children are just misguided, need to be guided and corrected. So they get only 640, and they are quite many. So what you are doing is quite amazing. I can say you are doing a wonderful job. Looking after 96,000 children, paying their fees, making sure they go to school. I was so glad when I saw that photo, that girl protecting and nurturing children so they can learn, grow, and thrive. That photo, that is now a typical Muchiga with a big forehead. That's a typical Muchiga with a big forehead. Yeah? But very brilliant people. So thank you for giving them life. Then I also want to thank you for building 740 homes for the vulnerable mothers, where they are raising the over 23,000 children. I mean, you are looking, you started an NGO to look after the HIV children. You left HIV alone and said HIV now has been suppressed. But then the biggest challenge is children don't have to go, they are not going to school. As much as we have UPE in Uganda, UPE has solved a few of the challenges because there are some corrupt teachers who still charge the poor money to feed or early learning, early class. So the UPE has solved the problem, but the corrupt ones are making it a bad program. But largely it has been an impactful program. So Nyaka from Kambuga, I went to Kambuga. Kambuga is such a remote village. But now Kambuga has a vacation school. It has a clinic. It has a Harvard graduate. People of Kambuga, Reverend, I think you regret why you left Kambuga. Because Reverend, it is Mama who left Kambuga. But you are supposed to leave because you're a woman. Kastoka Likayo products. Whoever them know mama. So I want to thank you, sir, Mr. Kaguli, Tracy J. Jackson, and the entire board and the funders for giving a chance to these people. Then I also need to thank you for providing clean water to the people of Kanungu, because you made friends in Rotary. I'm a personal Rotarian, but I've not yet tapped a program for Rotary to my district in Masindi. I regret why I should not do it. You have challenged me. So very soon I should tell them as a major donor, I should also go to Masindi and provide a village called Chigulia. Chigulia village, which has never had piped water, and yet it's just 7 kilometers from Masindi town, and in a municipality. So when I asked yesterday, they told me in Chigulia we don't have clean water, a municipality, and then we don't have a government-aided city school. I said, in 40 years? So you were having a knife which was not cutting. Now the president has provided you with a knife that can cut on the cake. But the cake may not be big because it will be divided amongst all Ugandans. But the little I can cut, I will cut for my people. I want to thank you for cutting for your people before you think of Bukedi and Busia. And the decision to go to Busia is strategic. Busia has a lot of HIV rates. The rates of HIV in Busia, Mbarara, and Fort Potro are on the rise. So as you think of Busia, we should also think of those other villages like Mutukula, Chotera, where HIV hit so many. We should also think of Chiriandongo, where we have a couple of refugee communities who need a second chance, and then these other villages. So your starting schools is quite paramount and quite very, very important. I'm glad. And then lastly, I want to thank you for hearing Muzei's message, the President's message, socio-economic transformation. You cannot have socio-economic transformation unless you have saving culture, unless you have bookkeeping culture. And you cannot have a microfinance. People will not borrow money unless they know how to keep their money and how to save and how to make 1,000 become 10,000. So by so doing, you have answered the call where every family, in not only in Kanungu, the most remote district, where we find the mountain gorillas next to Kisoro and all these other parks. But now, you are giving them a chance also to learn how to save money. Government has a program called the PDM, where every village in Uganda earns 100 million, of which 30% goes to young people and women. The 70 million may not be so much for a parish. This is a parish, every parish we call a ward or a parish. Those parishes are all earning 100 million, including the president's own village, Rwachtura, his own parish. He earns also 100 million. So it is the first socio-economic transformation program for the masses, for all Ugandans, that the president brought up, and the first program in Africa, I think. We are the first program to have such a program of poverty alleviation. The 1 million is not enough, but now you have supplemented it with a bank, with a microfinance, which will transform into a bank, now that you have bankers on your board. That is very, very important, and I want to thank you for that. Let's teach people how to save. Then once we teach them, they will not drink kaguli, they will not take nguli. They will avoid nguli and now save money, and then they will become rich. I would have loved to hear stories. Before even I go, I want to invite one of the children to come and give me a testimony. And I also understand you have over 480 graduates, professionals. You have doctors. Are they here? Can I see them stand? Maybe I could see, maybe I could you come at the front here. Come at the front. So I understand you have 480 graduates, professionals ranging from lawyers, doctors, etc. That is really very, very nice, Mr. Kaguri. And I think those are the most important thing. So you are going to give testimony. When did you join Nyaka in Kambuga? And tell them you're Muchiga, introduce yourself. So that UBC can capture you. Tell them who you are.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. You're most welcome to this gathering. My name is Sarah Rukundo. I joined Nyaka in 2012 when I had just completed Senior 4. So Nyaka funded my studies all the way from Senior A level, what we call Senior 5 and Senior 6, and then university studies. At university, I offered a course of Bachelor of Laws. So it supported me all through university. It went ahead and funded my postgraduate diploma at a Law Development Center. So through Nyaka, I have been able to successfully complete my studies. And right now, I successfully graduated as a lawyer and went ahead and enrolled as an advocate, and now I'm practicing as an advocate. Thank you so much.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tugume Mark, and I've just completed a Bachelor's of Medical Engineering from Makerere University. I'll be graduating in January with the first class. My journey with Nyaka, what I can say, the rise of me and the attaining of hope started in 2008 in my primary 2 up to when I've actually finished university. I'm so thankful to Nyaka, and apart from what he mentioned, I really got my first opportunity to come to Kampala in primary through Nyaka. So there has been a lot that isn't mentioned. I remember when we joined, we actually used to get clothes as well. So I'm really grateful, and I just pray this continues. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm called Nwabine Hilary. I don't like putting doctor, but I'm called Dr. Nwabine Hilary. So I want to cut the story short. My story with Nyaka is very, very long. Maybe we need a day or two to talk about everything. But what I can say is I started with Nyaka from the very first day. Even before Nyaka started, I was in his hands, and so many things we can talk about. So my rise from nothing to where I am today started from Nyaka, the first day, when Professor Mondo Kagonyera opened with 2 classrooms. And then, but before they opened, he came and told me he used to put on shorts. He was a tall man, huge. So we used to be waiting for him Christmas, and he would bring for us clothes, shoes, and a lot of things. So one day he came to me and told me, Hilary, I want you to go to school, and I'm going to build a school so you can go to school. It's called Nyaka AIDS Orphan School. I forgot the name, but what I remember is I went back home. I told my grandmother I was going to school, and she was like, I don't have money. Then in a few days, Nyaka opened, and it was opened by Professor Mondo Kagonyera. Things were not easy from the start, but Nyaka made everything easy. I remember in the first days our motivation was just food, mandas and porridge every morning, because we knew if you wake up hungry, you would go back to school and eat mandas, come back when you're full and just sleep, go back the next day. So when we finished primary 7, there was little hope, but he always told me, son, listen, you're destined to succeed, and I want to tell you that every time I'm here in Uganda, you're going to succeed. When we finished senior 4, I'm just cutting the story short, there was also little hope, but he told me, if you can perform, I'll go and look for your school fees. But if you don't perform, I don't know what I will do for you. Things have been going like that, and has never disappointed. If you want to know where your donation is going, you can look at me. Come and visit us in Nyaka, Jersey. 1 month back, my grandmother called me, saw someone passing, and was like, call doctor, I want to talk to him. She told me, come home. I went home, and she told me she was going to die. She was very sick. I knew about it, but I was trying to connect with some people, they treat her. So when she told me that she's very old, 112 years, I knew it was just time. So I went back home, and she told me she was going to die. But I'm a professional doctor, so I understood the problem. I went to Nyaka Clinic. I picked one medication, and now she has gained like 5 kgs. She's very fat. So that's my short story with Nyaka. I want to stop there, but if you want to know much about Nyaka, you can just get me in my time, and then we talk. So many good stories, so many beautiful things Nyaka has done for our grandmothers, for other children. A few you see here just representing so many that Nyaka has transformed their lives. Thank you very much.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tushje Queen Elizabeth. I'm a student at Nkumba University, pursuing a Bachelor of Arts in International Relations and Diplomacy. I'm a diplomat in making. Yeah, I really thank Nyaka because I joined last year in March. I'm now in my second semester. Next year, I'm going to my third year. I had no hopes of joining the university. Actually, my dad had said, go and join the police. But I saw an advert. I was like, let me try my luck, because I had performed well with 13 points in literature, entrepreneurship, and geography. I applied. Luckily enough, I passed through. I was very happy. And when I saw I'm going to Entebbe, I used it to see Entebbe. I knew Entebbe is just an airport. I didn't know Entebbe. There are even other places, even a university. It was my first time to come to Kampala. I even proceeded to Entebbe. I lack nothing at all. I get accommodation, good one, stipend, tuition. I really thank Nyaka so much. May God bless you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Apofia Atuha, and I'm also a student sponsored by Nyaka at Nkumba University, pursuing a bachelor's degree in graphics communication design. And I'm really grateful being sponsored by Nyaka. You people, we can't even tell, because it is a lot. We have gained a lot. We are looking good because of Nyaka. Some of us couldn't be here, but because of Nyaka, we are here. We are really grateful. I can't thank everyone here, but we are really grateful. On behalf of the rest who are not here, they are really grateful. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nyakusinga Fielder, and I'm a student at Nkumba University, pursuing a degree in journalism and public relations, and I'm a proud student of Nyaka. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, and I'm a Minister of Information and ICT at Nkumba University. And
So now, Kanungu makes Bariomus, everyone.
yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kengas Hilda, a student from Nyaka Vocational Secondary School. I'm so grateful to be here today, representing the Nyaka Vocational Secondary School students. I've been supported by Nyaka since 2013. This is my 12th year in Nyaka. I receive each and everything, like what is needed for us students to succeed in the school. The way you're seeing me from the shop to the top, all this is Nyaka. We are comfortable in school. As a girl child, we receive girl talks. We host very many people who inspire us, the girl children. I'm motivated, and now through Nyaka, I think I will become a very great person, probably a neurologist. He's my inspirer. Thank you so much, Nyaka. God bless the donors. God bless our director. God bless all the well wishers of Nyaka. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brenda Ahalizira. I'm among the pioneer students of Nyaka AIDS Orphans Project. I started from Nyaka Primary, walking the 8 kilometers from home every day, and to and back home. I thank all the well-wishers of Nyaka who have been with us on this journey. It hasn't been a soft journey, but we have endured. Currently, I'm working with Nyaka AIDS Orphans Project under the sponsorship program, where I help the young ones who are joining school to enroll for university, vocational. I help them in mentoring them on what steps they can go to, how they can persevere in school and complete. Thank you very much.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning, madam.
My name is Princess Tumshere, a student at Tamba Primary School. I thank Nyaka for the great support he has rendered to us. I thank our donors, sponsors, and church organizations like Youth for World Canada, Education to a Right, Stephen Roos Education, and very many others for building a community studying environment for us. Thank you for your love and passion. I salute you.
I request you all stand up and clap for her. She's my head girl. They're all standing up for you. You wave to them. Tell them to sit down.
Sit down.
Okay. Okay, you speak.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nyaka Cornelius. I'm in primary 4 class at Nyaka Primary School. I thank the donors, the elector, for giving us food, shelter, clothing. Our grandmothers had no shelter, with no clean water, but the elector brought water, and now we have water at home. I thank the donors who sponsor. I thank the donors, sponsors who sponsor us, and may God bless you.
Now you have heard from all of them. You have heard from the doctor, from the designer, from the Minister of Information, from everybody. From the doctor who doesn't want to be called a doctor, from the top diplomat, maybe ambassador in Kanungu to where? Kanungu to Uganda. Yeah, but anyway, your dream will come true, I believe. So now, on behalf of government of Uganda, I want to confirm to you, director and the board, that bring whatever you want me to write for you, I'll write. The best I can give you is my signature. In the ministry, we don't have that money. But I will give you the signature and you get it where you want to get it. Because you are not eating it, but you are giving somebody a chance. The lady spoke English of Kampala parents from Kanungu. And then, this young man is imitating the Harvard English. Can you greet them once again? Tell them, thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming.
Tell them, thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming.
I think now you see Madam Obama in making. Yeah? So we are grateful to the donors, just like these children said, the director for the mind, and then, of course, the lady Mama Kaguli, instead of telling the child to go and drink Kaguli in America, where it is even cheaper. A bottle of wine in America goes for $3. $1 actually. So it is cheap to drink Nguli in America. Getting spoiled is so easy. But by the time you leave Kanungu and you go to America, and then you come back in shorts, like he described that he used to come back in shorts, a fat man, and he would give us clothes and shoes. I mean, that was really nice. It's inspiring, and we should learn from you. That you used to be very huge like Bario Munsi. I think Kanungu makes huge people. So anyway, thank you very much to each of you. I would have loved to hear all these stories, but I'm rushing for another event in a refugee camp in Chiriandongo. Allow me leave. I beg to request to leave early, and I want to thank all of you for sparing time. I've seen Tata, I've seen Kia, Nissan. I've seen so many big people here. I didn't mention all of you. I've seen lawyers, bankers. Be generous. We can impact on community and these disadvantaged ones. I do the same, but I don't have $3 million. I use the little I have to change lives. Currently, I have 8 refugee children whom I've adopted as my children, together with my 3 children. So I look after those 8. 2 are at Nkumba, 1 is in Chambogo, 1 is at UCU, and these are very expensive universities. And then others are just coming up. They didn't know English. Now they are doing well. They are actually, they emerge best. The vulnerable are very brilliant children. They are not like our balcony children. the children who raise up in the balcony in Nagura and Itinda cannot do what these stars are doing. So let us empower, let us support those children wherever they are. Pick one, each one of you, pick one or two, a girl and a boy if you can, or two boys, or balance the way he's balancing. We may change lives and we may create change makers in Uganda. God bless you all.
Can I request that we have a picture with our keynote, our CEO and board chair, with also the ambassador. Go Green, yes, please come. And we have a group picture before our guest of honor leaves. I think the stories have been very powerful. Can we give them a big, big round of applause?
You know, there's a very, very important person I'd forgotten to introduce. Her name is, she's a queen. I'm going to ask the queen to greet you in a minute as we take the photo. And she tells you who she is and what's her dream. What does she want to become?
With appreciation, my name is Talia Berenji Kandale, second Queen of Little Miss Wildlife Uganda, 2024-2025. I study from Trinity Primary School, located in Bukoto, Mukalazi Zone. At my school, I am the Little Hands Go Green Ambassador. For the years that I want to study, or I need to study, I dream of being a conservationist. A conservationist is a person who conserves and protects nature. Thank you.
Have you heard the queen? The really queen herself. Let us plant a tree. Let's plant a fruit tree or any kind of tree in our home, so that her dream of conserving comes true.
I think the stories require a big, big round of applause. They've been very...
My sister Mercy to come, and who's the RG of URSB, to also say something and then kick us off, because I believe you also have a tight schedule this morning. So why don't we just welcome Mercy, and then we'll sort of ride it from there and take it on. So Mercy, go for it.
Thank you, my brother Collins. Good morning to you all. I recognize Reverend Benon and Mama. You made us in St. Francis Chapel at Macquarie University, and your dear daughter there. To all the donors and organizers, you are appreciated. As we continue to think about what we are going to support with, I felt that I should use this opportunity as you go through the thought process to make my presentation, because I am needed by my minister at 10. I thank God for the invitation to this event. I got in touch with Nyaka many years ago, very many years ago. And I'd like to thank Dr. Jackson Kaguri, who has been our brand ambassadors everywhere in the world, and to all that have supported. I would like to appreciate the leaders that have organized this event. I would like to recognize my colleagues from Uganda Registration Services Bureau. Please stand up for recognition. I came with a team. As I leave, I'll leave them in charge. Please, you may take your seats. I always move with a delegation because it's part of our mentorship as leaders. But we also want to show these young people, these are the balcony, Bugolobi, Bukoto kids, the planned kids that are in offices that do not understand where Kanungu is, apart from Rachel there, who is from Kisoro. So they need to know what is happening out there. And because we have also been strong in terms of corporate social responsibility, we work with every organization that transforms society. And we'll be making our pledge as an organization at an opportune time. As government, we have to first present it to the board, but it will come as an organization, but I'll also make my personal pledge, and Dr. Kaguri, my brother, knows that I always give in secret. So, but it's a good and strong one that will continue to support. I was asked just to highlight on the topic and the theme of today on lighting a candle. And this reminds me of a young man who lived with a grandmother, and suddenly in their residence, they ran out of power because they are using electricity. And this young man, out of fear, screamed to the grandmother, "What can we do? I fear darkness." And the grandmother reached out in their space where they kept their food items and found a small candle. And by a strike of a match, this grandma lit the short, small candle. And suddenly, what was dark became lit. And this gave the boy a lot of strength. This gave the young man a lot of energy, and it took away the fear that had been created by the darkness. And when this young man asked the grandmother, how come that such a small candle, such one match, can kill all the darkness in the room? And the grandmother's response was that you cannot fight the darkness. You can only light a candle to do away with the darkness. Many a times we associate with these moments of darkness. We associate with darkness in our communities, like this young child that was mistreated by the stepmother, these young doctors and lawyers and engineers and corporates and diplomats that had no hope. If their parents, if they had joined the darkness and stayed in the dark to lament, to say government, tetuyamba, every time we complain about government, but which government is here? It is us transform the nations. It is us individuals transform the nations, because our governments cannot provide everything for us. And we want to thank the vision bearers of this Nyaka. So like that young man, I'm also reminded of the statement, lighting a candle is actually a Chinese statement. And it makes us appreciate that when you are in a better place to take action, please do that. However small your action may be, like that small candle that was lit by the grandmother, please do that. However small your contribution may be, it will buy books, it will support the shelter that the young man was talking about. And as I was reflecting on this topic of today, and as you reflect on what you're going to give this morning, or the sponsorship that you're going to give to any of the students and the children that you may take on as a family, as individuals, as an association, I'm reminded of the 23rd Vice President of the USA. He mentioned during the recognition of Eleanor Roosevelt, who was one of the first ladies, he mentioned that this is Adlai Stevenson, that she would rather light a candle than curse the darkness. Her glow has warmed the world. Sometimes when we see darkness, we curse it. When we see potholes, we curse them. When we see children begging us for bread, we curse them. When we see people requesting and fundraising, we feel that it's an inconvenience. But they are supporting a cause. But what cause have you supported as an individual? As an individual that has had an opportunity to get education, to have a life, because sometimes we take life for granted. Many of us associate with some of these familiar statements of darkness, but how much darkness have you seen in our society and kept silent? We curse every day. We go behind the scenes. We post on TikTok and social media. We blackmail and we make so much noise about what is not going right. But what have you done to light a candle by doing one good thing? A candle may be small. That candle that was lit by that grandmother in that dark room, but it has profound impact. It signifies strength. A candle in your leadership spaces, because many of us are in leadership spaces and we face a lot of darkness. But what candles are we lighting? And you know that generally a candle does not lose any light when it lights another. So as I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, today's or this morning's fundraising, this morning sharing of the Nyaka Foundation projects and products, from the children to the grandmothers to the community support to education to environment and all the areas of focus, I want to invite you to support as much as you can. I want to invite you to support also within your communities, that even when it has been in Kanungu, this is something that is being replicated now in Busia and other places, Bukedia, and please participate. This is a model that is going to change our society when we empower our communities, because it is through our communities that we light candles. Let's not ignore that neighbor's child who has lost a parent. Let's not ignore that young person that may not have a job. Just mentorship. You may not connect them to a job, but give them the skill. Give them the energy. Give them the support. Yesterday I had a conversation with a young lawyer, a very smart lawyer, a son of one of the big ministers, a lawyer, and he has a very good mindset. And when we sat for 30 minutes, he said he has never had such a mentorship. Just the words that you speak can light the candle. The words that you speak to people, just encouraging them, telling them, what's your future? What do you want to see yourself in the next 5 years? How can you be enabled? Can you do this course? Can I learn from you? Can you read this book? You're lighting a candle. But sometimes you sit with somebody and you ask yourself, why have I sat with this neighbor? Maybe it's time to turn to your neighbor and ask, what candle have you lit in your community? Just a second. What candle have you lit? Are you the only successful person in that village? Are you the only successful person in that job space? Are you the only successful person in that community? I'm also a Rotarian, and I speak in my own right as a past president of my Rotary Club, as a past assistant governor. I do a lot of charity. We have been approached by so many people. We have built schools, hospitals. But what community do you belong to? A community of people who hang out and eat life? Or a community of people, yes, who eat life, but you eat it with reason and leave some support? Can you make it a point that in 2025, in your budget, as you plan, because I know this is a period of planning for the next year, put a package for supporting community. If you cannot support a community, I don't think you'll get as many blessings as you're supposed to get. Make up your mind that even as you plan to buy that shoe, as you plan to construct that mansion, what is your corporate social or individual social responsibility budget like? What is your individual social responsibility plan like? So let's support communities. Let's make many Nyakas as we light the candles. So as I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, every day we wake up into a world that is unknown, a world that is full of crime, a world that is full of negative people that as even you do the best for people, they are planning against you. A world that is full of crime. I was seeing the crime rate, police rate of 2023, defilement in homes, defilement in communities. Thousands of young people, young children have been defiled. Murder cases, cases of theft. It is the festive season. Know your neighbor. It is a festive season. So we have all these bad elements in society. But you, today, you need to choose to be different, to light that candle by supporting somebody that would be in a better place if you supported. Maybe it's time also to reflect on yourselves. You are not alone. There's a book, Never Eat Alone, by Kate Ferranzi. The principle in that book is, do not forget the people that lifted you. And thank you to those that have benefited through this project, that you're thanking the founders and you're thanking God for this. Thank you, Dr. Kagulu. We have met in many spaces. Even when I was in Harvard recently, we were together. You're my brother. When you come here, you check on me. I thank you for the vision. And while you are out, I say that my team will support. Actually, you should even support as individuals, because I pay you well. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, they should also support as individuals. Individuals as a corporate, and I also support as individuals. I want to thank you very much. Thank you for making time for this. Let us open this fundraising. Let's open this fundraising. I'm starting it at 5 million from Uganda Registration Services Bureau for now. And then the individual contributions will come. Let us support our communities. Let us build. In Maryhill, we had us saying that you build the nation through girls' education. Let's build the nation through this community work. It is the one that is going to light our candles for the whole world. I thank you very much, and I say this for God and my country.
Can I request we give Mercy a big, big, big round of applause?
Thank you. I think, now I work for the government, the same government that she does, but I can safely tell you that Mercy is one of the coolest accounting officers the country has. So please feel free to just note that down, put your contact down, and we'll take it from there. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to just introduce my Auntie Jackie Asimwe to just come and give us one of our last items before we close. Thank you so much, Jackie.
Good morning, dear humans. Some people are surprised. Oh, I'm a human. Good morning, humans. Yes, good morning. I'm a human. It's an honor to be here. My mother is from Kambuga. I saw that one of the graduates, Mark, is my relative, actually my nephew. Jackson is a dear friend. And there are lots, there are lots of touch points throughout history about this story. And that's the beauty about what we're doing today, because every story has a creation moment. Every story has a creation moment. In order to get us here today, someone had to think this, to create this in their mind and start us on this journey. The very earth on which we are stepping today, in which we live, has a creation moment. And when I was thinking about what to talk about in terms of lighting a life, I went back to that moment of the creation story. For those that believe the Bible account, one of the first things that was created was light. With just 4 words, let there be light. And a whole earth was born. Life was born. The curtain was open. Let there be light. And I want us to say those words and have them sink in our minds. Let there be light. You don't sound convinced though. Can we say it more powerfully? And I started to ponder each of these words, because it's easy to say them and repeat them, and it's a Bible story, and we all know it, and we all went to Sunday school, we even passed, we are here. But if we take each word one by one, the word let, just to think and ponder on the word let. To let is to allow, is to give permission, is to open, is to, what are the other words? Is to unlock. Let. And I want you to understand that this exercise that we've been doing isn't just raise your hand and let's get, no. Understand the power of what you are doing is letting. You're opening, you are expanding, you're making possible by let. So next time you give, understand the power of the act of your generosity. Let. And when we say there is directional, there is a place, there is location. And what are we doing here? We are saying, let our generosity go there. Where is the there? There is Nyaka. There is schools. There is libraries. There is grandmothers. There is water. There is life. So when we give, our giving has direction. Let, there. Do you see how powerful it is? Let, you're allowing, you're opening, you're expanding, you're releasing. There, you're directing it to where it should go. Let, there. Moreover, there is also through time. The beautiful thing I love about Nyaka is that it's an intergenerational story and space. The there is both now and to come, before us and after us. That is where our giving is going. Let there. Do you hear me, people? Yes. Can we say it? Let say it with the deep conviction of what you are doing. When we say the word be, people, is identity. Be is completeness. Be is freedom. If someone tells you just be. So when we say let there be, we are saying that by our generosity, we are opening, we are expanding, we are releasing directionally that freedom, abundance, identity may arise. Let there be. Guys, I want you to say it with me. Let there be. Louder than that, I'm sure. We are a village. The Queen told us we are a village. What is your giving calling into being? Understand the power of your generosity. And when we say light, oh my goodness, light is life-giving. Light is revealing. Light is to show. Light enables. Light visualizes. Light is growth. Light reaches. Have you ever been in dark Kanungu and you see a light? Because it reaches far. Light enables impact. So when you're lighting a life, you're not doing a simple thing. Let there be light. Do you understand me, people? May the eyes of your, may the light of your inner heart be open to what I am sharing. Let there be light. What we're doing this morning is not simple. It has such profound impact. And let there be light, as Mercy told us, is also a cause, a reminder to scatter darkness. And part of the darkness that we are scattering is oppression, discrimination, stigma that arises from being an orphan, that arises from being an older person, that arises from coming from far. We know how we laugh at them, don't we? So those are all the things that we are saying. When we say, let there be light, we are also saying, let there be no injustice. And that 2 is an act of generosity. And when we are saying, let there be light, it's also a call to yourself to say, I shall not be a partaker or bringer of darkness. I shall not be corrupt. I shall not eat money meant for roads for children to go to school. I shall be a person of integrity. When I see a child suffering, I shall speak out. When there is injustice, it stops with me because I'm a tear down things, right? Let there be light is also a charge to absolutely refuse darkness. Let there be light. And finally, because we're in a season of celebration, Christmas, one of the things I absolutely love about Christmas is that there are lights everywhere. If you live in Kampala, try driving around at night. You'll just see the abundance of lights on buildings and upon buildings and in homes. Because that's what light does. It beautifies, it calls us to celebrate, and it gives hope. So when we're giving, that's what we're doing. We're beautifying spaces, places, people. We are celebrating, causing joy, and we're also giving hope. People, let understand it. And may we give with reverence that we are co-creating with the creator of all. We are allowing and letting there to be light. How many of us have phones that have lights? If we can switch on those lights, I'd like us to do one last thing together. It won't overshow, but let's try. Hold them high as we can, and we're going to shout 3 times, let there be light, okay? If you don't have a phone with a light, grab the neighbor's hand and light together, and we're going to say together, let there be light. Again. Let there be loudest. Let there be light. Go light a life, people. Thank you so much.
Whew. So I invited the kids. Jack, you need to stay here for a minute. Come. Alumni, come up, please. You accepted to be here with the minister.
Alumni.
Alumni of Nyaka. Come on, potential ministers. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for enduring our program, overturning our program and standing with the keynote. Sharon, I need you here too. Sharon Tumushare, Christine Kasime, where are you? And this organization runs with a lot of people who work every single day. Jennifer Nantali, stand up, please. Jennifer Nantali is a Musoga lady from far away from here. And she led this organization full time. This is her 13th year. Clap for her harder. And I will tell you why. Because we have rampant corruption in some of the areas in Uganda, our American donors thought Jennifer Nantali is my sister, that I had hired my sister to run the organization. And our staff members who are here, you stand up. Christine, our interim country director. Raise your hand, Amanda, hi. Raise your hand, people, those who traveled from Kanungu. Ladies and gentlemen, these are men and women who do the work every day and I get credit. Raise them high, please. Thank you for the work you've done. Grandmother is here. And children, come here, you are the ones. Come on. And when Jackie was speaking, you've heard from the minister, you've heard from Maseki Nobisho, you've heard from Corinne, but you come, Corinne's mom spoke at Harvard University in May, ladies and gentlemen, representing grandmother at Harvard University. Offie, please come up. Come to Uncle Jack. That's my other baby. I have 4 children. I am a sarongo. Nobody has mentioned it all day today. Full sarongo. Takes a lot of energy to make twins. Now let me say what I want to say quickly so we can let you out of here. Jackie, thank you for speaking and being our closing. When Jackie was speaking, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know whether he paid attention to his mom and dad. Can you stand up, please? Mama Jackie, Reverend, man of God, they were the happiest people in the moment their first daughter was speaking the words from the Bible, manifesting light, right? I saw the dad going, that's my girl. Go ahead and inspire them, daughter. I'm so proud of you. I saw mom going, I carried you. I made you who you are. I'm so proud of you. Right? And they have more children. This is not the only one. Thank you for coming today. And I'm going to use your story as our closing remark here. Jackie, you are so proud of mom and dad. Jackie is a lawyer. She's an author. She wrote a book, Facing Mountains, recently. You should all get a copy. You can sit down, mom and dad. The reason I'm using that example, every single child in this world deserves parents who will sit and watch and say, that's my baby. Let that sink in. Did you hear me? Every single child deserves that moment that mom and dad had today. Unfortunately, Sharon, whose brother was my first brother, Frank Tumushale, will never have that moment they just had. He passed away before that moment comes. Before dad knew that Sharon would start an investment company, that was denied because of death. You are not hearing me. Every woman and child deserves to stand and see mom and dad shaking their head, saying, thank you, Jesus, that's my child. He will never see that. Hillary, who refuses to call himself a doctor, after qualifying for 5 years in medical school, still misses mom and dad. Can't even say I'm a doctor. I need to preach. The man cannot say he's a doctor when he's a doctor because the trauma of losing his mom and dad still reigns at, how old are you? 30 years. He stands there, looks at all of you, looks at Jackie's mom and dad, and go, I wish. You didn't know you're coming to preach. I wish mom and dad could see me as a doctor. My grandmother is 112. I went and treated him, but mom and dad were not there. That is here, one by one, 9,600,000 children. Off here calls me Uncle Jack. Tell them, who is your favorite person in the world?
Uncle Jack.
Ofi has mom and dad. Raise your hand. Mark Kakuba went to United States, married himself a Mzungu lady. The product is who? Ofi. Flew all the way from the United States. Rebecca's dad, the old man who had never been on a plane to the entire continent of Africa. They are seated there with their daughter, and they are looking at speech by speech, going, we are so proud of our Ofi. Go back to mommy. You will know your favorite person now. My point is, for these children, Nyaka is the mom and the dad. For Sharon, you are crying. It's all right. You can cry. Sharon's mom is still alive. But dad is not there. I became the dad. And now, those girls didn't know. You didn't know the story when she said uncle. Go back and sit down, it's okay. Will you see this girl? That's my brother, how he looked. When she walks, you think you are looking at Mushabe Frank. The aunt is here, Senga, you can go back and sit. Proud mother and grandmother. We have another sister who is not here, Faida, and I'm the last born. Our mother taught us to love one another and to give back to community. That's why we have these products. I'm so proud of you. I know you miss mom and dad, but we created a community to love you, to care for you, and to educate you. Grandmother, thank you for taking care of children. Sam also misses mom and dad. Sam's dad and mom passed away before Nyaka started. The reason he got on that bus carrying pencils, part of it is entrenched on what I didn't have, I'll give it to somebody else. You can all go back. Thank you so much. Jackie's mom, thank you for being here so I can use this example. I want now to take this opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, if you are still sparing money to drink wine and beer, do not leave your eyes from the children you just met. Somebody, Professor Mondoka Gonya, one time said, Jackson goes around the world begging. Fundraising is a joy. Mama Jolly, Wabirukamo, lost his son, first son. And Emma Mugisha, firstborn, just like Jackie, the firstborn, said to Mom, you need to go and sit with grandmothers who have lost 9, 10 children and be the light in their lives. She started grandmother's program. That's why she went to Harvard to speak. Mama Jolly lost his last son recently. It was in the news and people are sharing it around the world, and I said, some of us, this is our son. Nyaka is not only giving to children, it's also giving to us. To both brothers, Corin. Corin has been an MC from when Nyaka started. He's a busy man. He works with Chris Baryomunsi. You need to pledge for your boss. He works with Chris Baryomunsi. He's the head of e-government. I thank you. Now, let me do what I do best. I never go begging. I am a confident man. I am a salongo. I ask money for others to have an opportunity. You RBS, thank you for coming. Write more on that paper. Now you know you are the parents, Underfield, auditors, and this whole table. We thank you for coming. When you get home, write more. Busia is where we are going, you man. Now the minister took me outside and said, you can't go to Busia, you have also to pass by Masindi. We are coming. Corporate responsibility. I like the idea, we are going to implement it. We start with the URA. URA takes all your taxes, they need to give back. Alumni, go change the world, you have no excuse. If you want to go to Harvard, apply. Your dad has done his part. We've built a foundation. Now go become the citizen. You who work for my daughter, you saw how she cried? Give her a hug every single day. Every single what? Don't worry, she's in her high heels and make contributions. There are more opportunities and blessings in giving than receiving. Rachel, who I didn't introduce here, heads our Nyaka Canada. Stand up, Rachel. Nyaka Canada representative up here. Now don't go around asking her for a visa to Canada, please. Ask her, how can I be involved? We have a student in Canada, ladies and gentlemen, one of the pioneers, Shira. If we have to tell you a story of Nyaka, we'll be here all night. But Nyaka Canada, Nyaka UK is not here, but Birip, more money. Professor Ogola, Justice Ogola served on our board. Justice Ogola traveled to Nyaka and opened our clinic when he was still sitting justice. And the seeds he planted continue to be there. We're going to plant them in Busia. The gurus have heard you are good at mentorship, you are good alumni. If anybody's not clapping, you're the ones who are supposed to clap and go, woo! You. That is the only payment. The gurus are mentors, right? And they are going to come and they give money, and they are going to give more money, and they are going also to give their knowledge. This man here flew to Texas, and the people who work with him said, we want to be like Nyaka. Nyaka has produced many babies. Even my ex-wife has an organization that's a baby of Nyaka. Generosity of giving comes from Nyaka, and this is one of our babies right here. We will continue to guide you and point you in the right directions. Our staff members, you need to stand again. Headmaster, secondary school, Iko Apa, internet and libraries in the rural village, the man who travels in every district working with the grandmothers, right here, Sunday, the superstar. You need to buy a poster that has her picture, right here. Christine Kasime, the staff members who take care of money, we thank you. Brian, we just met. You married a sister. Where is she? Oh, you are the one. This is the wife. And the relatives, they just got to know about Nyaka, but they are supporting Nyaka wholeheartedly. Programs officer in charge of the field, right here. Headmistress of Nyaka Primary School, Lydia's daughter, ladies and gentlemen. Lydia started with, she was the third hire for Nyaka organization. 17 years, 18 now. 18 years later, she could go work in any private school in this world. She stays with Nyaka. Her daughter, who was born in my hands, don't start imagining things. Koshaba just graduated from Chambogo University, and she was the one holding the mantle for the dean. She's also a climate change advocate who became an ambassador for the day. This is the mother. She opened the door for all people to have twins in the Nyaka organization. Now Sarongo, Jennifer is Narongo, Prudence is Narongo, and all the graduates are going to be Narongos. Our new hires, UWEF. I want to introduce Bajenzi, King Bajenzi, who is behind the machines. All our program is on YouTube Live. You can see it again. King is the man with machines, and his man, Toshi, was taking pictures. Christine, I introduced to you. Protea, you've done a good job. Protea gave us 2 extra tables. This table is called Charles I Foundation. You heard about Charles I. Nkusi, they told me to meet you, so we are going to meet after. Chris Mwanguzi, who is in the UK, served on our board for Nyaka UK. You heard about Nyaka Uganda today. You have Nyaka UK, Nyaka Canada, Nyaka USA, Nyaka Kanungu, Nyaka Rubanda. Now it's going to be Nyaka Busia. There's going to be Nyaka, since the minister asked, Nyaka Masindi. We want to Nyaka everywhere, Nyaka Congo, Nyaka Brazil, Nyaka Russia, Nyaka Ukraine. Because we have tested the model and we know it works. That's why it was implemented right here. Thank you for your leadership and for everything you've done. This one, we grew up together. Whole accountant, he told you he's a farmer. He's a UN. Danson works for United Nations, ladies and gentlemen. Danson is an accountant. He didn't tell you also he's connected to Anfield. And when Sam was speaking, I was reminded of also a man called Semper Abubakar, Semper, who was there traveling with Sam, CPA, who has led all our accounting. We've never lost a penny in our history. AAR, I know you were here. We've given you so much money in insurance. Bankers, you've taken a lot. But look, when Sam Mugisha tells you about coffee, this is international standard branding. Whenever I take this coffee to United States, Starbucks has no say. But because of restrictions, we are not yet able to export it, but we will get there. After educating all these branding ambassadors, Wasesa, I see you, Sigo Family Foundation funds us and funds so many organizations that we are represented here. So get your coffee, get a book. Thank you for coming. God bless you. This work is not about Jackson, Kaguri, it is God's work. We need to give him glory. We need to thank him. And God works through people. And those people are you, ladies and gentlemen. May God bless you. Do we have anything else, Corinne, we want to conclude with? You are good. You hear Corinne's voice and his boss, Dr. Christopher Yomunsi, my classmate, who is now a boss, will have to send his pledge. This is his home. When he got sick, he went to the hospital next to us. His relatives are in our schools. Gloria just left. Kanong has a lot of people. Big people. But we are all called to do something. So many people say if we had many Jacksons, God has his own plans. He's working through me and people are contributing. So let's let people do their work and allow us to be vessels, allow to be that light. I will never forget your mom and dad's faces as you were speaking. And I can promise you, mom and dad, we will make sure that these children have us to be those proud moments like you just experienced today. God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's just clap for the chief servant himself. Can we say let there be light one more time with the passion that Jackie has? And I liked what the young lady said. It doesn't take anything away for a candle to light another. You just spread the love. The fire goes on, but you don't lose anything. So let us close with a word of prayer from Canon Ben. But I also want to ask that, do you have anybody had a paper that they're passing on that they didn't pass on? You could just wave it. Maybe you had your pledge written down. Please do wave it and the people here will pick it. Maybe you've been inspired by the last session here and you had something to write. Please write it. But that's why we're here. Otherwise, I want to say thank you so much all for coming. God bless you, and let's have a closing prayer. Let us all rise up, if that's okay.
I would wish that each one of us holds the hand of somebody next to you. You know, I believe in the Bible. The Bible says it is more blessed to give than to receive. It is more blessed to give than to receive. Because when you give, and you give, you receive much, much more. Much more. A good measure, pressed down, shaken over, and running over. So that we have given, we are sure we will receive. Amen. And may the peace of God, which is greater than we can understand, keep your hearts and minds in the knowledge and love of God and of his Son, Jesus Christ our Lord. And the blessing of God Almighty, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit rest upon each one of you this Christmas season and go with you and remain with you as you give, both now and forevermore.